In 1990, the NLD won a landslide victory in national elections, proving that the people of Myanmar overwhelmingly wanted Suu Kyi as their leader. But the military refused to hand over power. Instead, they placed her under house arrest, cutting her off from the world. For nearly 15 of the next 21 years, she was kept behind gates and guarded walls, often unable to see her family, friends, or even her dying husband. This was her greatest personal sacrifice. Michael Eris passed away from cancer in 1999, and the generals refused to allow him to see her one last time. She chose to remain in Myanmar, separated from her children, because leaving the country would mean abandoning her people's struggle. This decision turned her into a symbol of extraordinary courage and devotion. The world did not forget her. In 1991, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, even while still under house arrest. In her absence, her sons accepted the honor on her behalf. The Nobel Committee called her an outstanding example of the power of the powerless. Overnight, Suu Kyi became an international icon, a voice of hope not only for Myanmar but also for oppressed people everywhere. Young men and women in Myanmar began to look at her as a motherly figure who embodied dignity, patience, and strength. Around the globe, she inspired activists, politicians, and ordinary citizens who believed in the power of peaceful resistance. Yet her life inside Myanmar was unimaginably hard. She lived cut off from her family, often with no phone, no visitors, and under constant watch. Sometimes she relied on a single radio for news of the world. There were days she suffered loneliness, and nights she faced threats to her safety. But she never broke. Her words during those years became timeless lessons. Please use your freedom to promote ours. She reminded the world that even when one woman was locked away, the dream of freedom for millions could not be imprisoned. Finally, in 2010, after international pressure and the determination of her people, Suu Kyi was released from house arrest. Crowds flooded the streets to welcome her, tears flowing freely as they sang and shouted her name. For a moment, it seemed democracy was finally within reach. In 2015, her party, the NLD, won elections, and Suu Kyi became Myanmar's de facto leader. Many celebrated this as the victory of light over darkness. But the years that followed were not easy. Her leadership was challenged by complex ethnic conflicts, global criticism, and political struggles. The Rohingya crisis drew strong condemnation internationally, and some of her earlier admirers grew disappointed. Yet for her people, she remained a symbol of resistance to military domination. In 2021, Myanmar's fragile democracy was once again crushed by a military coup. Soldiers seized power and arrested Suu Kyi, this time sending her to prison. Court after court sentenced her to long years behind bars on charges widely seen as politically motivated. The generals hoped to erase her influence, but the opposite happened.